Did you know that Galileo was buried 2 times? Yes, it's true. At first, he was buried in a small, simple grave because the church was upset with him. But 95 years later, people realized how important he was for science, so they moved him to a grand tomb in a big church in Florence. Everyone knows Galileo as the father of science, but there's so much more about his life that people don't know. In this video, we'll show you a few amazing facts about him. Galileo started studying to become a doctor at the University of Pisa, but he didn't like it and dropped out. He loved math and physics instead, and that changed the world. Before Galileo became famous for space discoveries, he invented a special compass for soldiers. It helped them aim better and measure distances during battles. Galileo didn't invent the telescope, but he made it much better. He used it to discover moons around Jupiter and change the way we see space. You've probably heard the story of Galileo dropping things from the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But did you know it might not have really happened? Some historians say it's just a myth. Did you know that Galileo wasn't just an astronomer? He was also a skilled lute player and taught music theory. But here's where it gets really interesting. Galileo wasn't his first name. It was his surname. His full name was Galileo Galilei. Despite his groundbreaking discoveries, Galileo was nearly blind in his later years due to observing the sun. He even invented a precursor to the modern thermometer, called a thermoscope. Galileo's fingers were stolen from his corpse 95 years after his death by admirers. And get this, he once considered becoming a priest before pursuing science. These lesser-known facts paint a fascinating picture of the man behind the telescope.